What if I told you, there is a place on Earth where more people live in 1 square kilometer than anywhere else on the planet? A place so crowded that sunlight barely reaches the ground. Where homes are stacked on top of homes. Where narrow alleys feel like tunnels. Where privacy does not exist. And survival is a daily struggle. Most people think Dharavi is the most crowded place on Earth. But today we are going somewhere far worse. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is real life. Welcome to the densest city on Earth. A place where human life is packed tighter than animals in cages. This is the story of extreme survival. This is life 10 times worse than Dharavi. Before we go there, let's understand one thing. When we talk about population, most people imagine big cities like Tokyo, Mumbai, Shanghai, New York. But size doesn't matter. Population density means how many people are squeezed into a very small area. Some cities are large but spread out. Others are tiny, but packed like a human pressure cooker. And the city we're talking about today has a density that will shock you. More than 100,000 people per square kilometer. To give you perspective, New York City, 11,000 people/km superscript 2. Mumbai, 20,000 people/km superscript 2. Dharavi, 35,000 40,000 people/km superscript 2. Now brace yourself. This place, over 100,000 people per square kilometer. That's not a city. That's a human storage unit. The densest place humans ever lived was Kowloon Walled City. Located in Hong Kong, this place no longer exists today. But when it did, it was pure nightmare. Kowloon Walled City wasn't just crowded. It was uncontrolled, lawless, and forgotten by the world. No government rules. No police control. No proper laws. It was a city inside a city, but abandoned by authority. Imagine waking up every day, without sunlight. Buildings in Kowloon were stacked so tightly that the sun could not enter. Some apartments received zero daylight for years. Residents described it as living inside a concrete cave. People used fluorescent lights even during daytime. Children grew up without ever seeing blue skies from their homes. And the air? Stale, humid, filled with smoke, sewage smell, and moisture. Walls dripped with water. Mold grew everywhere. Breathing itself was a challenge. Let's talk about space. Most families lived in rooms smaller than a parking space. Entire families, 5, 6, sometimes 8 people, shared one tiny room. Beds were stacked. Floors doubled as kitchens. Toilets were often shared by dozens of people. There were no proper bathrooms. Many apartments had open pipes running through walls. Sewage water leaked constantly. Privacy? It didn't exist. Kowloon Walled City had no law enforcement. That made it a paradise for criminal gangs, drug dealers, illegal businesses. The triads ruled the city. Drugs were sold openly. Gambling dens operated day and night. Prostitution was common. Police rarely entered. Even ambulances were afraid to go inside. If something happened to you there, you were on your own. The city was made of interconnected buildings. No proper roads. No streets. Just dark, narrow corridors. Some alleys were so narrow that 2 people couldn't pass each other. Sunlight never reached the ground. Water dripped from above. Electrical wires hung everywhere like spider webs. One wrong step, and you could fall into an open shaft. Children learned to navigate darkness like animals. You may ask, why would anyone live here? The answer is simple. Poverty. Most residents were refugees, migrant workers, poor families with nowhere else to go. Rent was cheap. For many, Kowloon was the last option. Despite the hellish conditions, people built communities. Small shops, illegal factories, food stalls. Doctors ran unlicensed clinics. Teachers taught children in tiny rooms. Life found a way even in hell. There was no proper infrastructure. Electricity was stolen from nearby areas. Wires ran randomly through buildings. Fire hazards were everywhere. One spark entire city in. Water pipes were patched illegally. Many residents drank contaminated water. Disease was common. Yet somehow, imagine being born here. No playgrounds, no parks, no open spaces. Children played on rooftops, surrounded by broken glass and rusted metal. Many never went to school. Some joined gangs at a young age. Others worked in illegal factories. Childhood ended early in Kowloon. Dharavi is crowded. But Dharavi has roads, sunlight, police, open markets, community spaces. Kowloon had none of that. Dharavi is visible. Kowloon was hidden, ignored, forgotten. That's why many historians call it the most extreme urban experiment in human history. By the 1980s, the world could no longer ignore Kowloon. Health risks were rising. Crime was uncontrolled. The buildings were collapsing. The Hong Kong government made a decision. Kowloon Walled City must be destroyed. Residents were relocated. Compensation was offered. Many cried. Many resisted. Because as horrible as it was still home. In 1993, demolition began. Bulldozers entered. Concrete walls fell. The world watched as the densest city ever built was reduced to rubble. Today, in its place stands a peaceful park. Green grass, open sky, silence. A cruel contrast to what once existed. Here's the real question. Is Kowloon history? Or is it a warning? Today, cities across the world are becoming more crowded. Slums are expanding. Housing is shrinking. Poverty is rising. If we don't learn from Kowloon, we may create new Kowloons. Different locations. Same suffering. Overpopulation is not just numbers. It means less air, less water, less dignity. When humans are packed like objects, humanity is the first thing that disappears. Kowloon was proof. Kowloon Walled City no longer exists, but its story should never be forgotten, because it shows us how far humans can endure suffering, how poverty can trap generations, how cities can become prisons, and how easily the world looks away. Next time someone says, "This place is too crowded," remember, there was once a city, 10 times worse than Dharavi, and people still lived there. Music fades out.